Good day, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of A Food's Journey. Today's video is going to be a little short and sweet, so like, share, comment, subscribe. Um, I'm going to get into how I figured out really what my bigger picture was. And it's part of my journey. It was probably one of the hardest parts of my journey, if I'm to be honest about it, right? So, um, I met this guy, and just to give you a little bit of background, like I attempted to get married, like I was, supposed to get married, and I had a wedding and everything, but when the marriage certificate went to get turned in, I was advised that he was still married to someone else. I can't, it was devastating. It was devastating. It was embarrassing. It was a whole lot of things that I didn't want to really associate with it at that time, in that moment, whatever have you. But lo and behold, that situation didn't work out. That ended. And shortly after that ended, like after that ended, I was kind of in this place of taking life, as it came, like, happy about it, upbeat, positive, like I'm getting back to me, working and just taking care of my son and, doing everything I need to do, but also like really, paying attention to what I had going on and, working on what I had going on, things like that. And then I met someone who, it was almost like the moment I met him, I felt like I had knew him for lifetimes. Like it was just this weird feeling. I almost felt like I had loved him before and I didn't know how, and I had never been in a situation like that. Like I had never, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like an overly emotional person or hop into relationships and, none of that type of stuff, but it felt different being in his presence. And I didn't understand it, I didn't understand it at all for the life of me. But I kind of, after coming off of the heels of the previous relationship, I said to my sister, actually, before even going on the first date with him, I said, Sissy, I don't know what is going to happen here, but like, I'm just open. I'm open to whatever life has to throw my way at this point. And I'm going to, like live in this moment and take it for whatever it is. And so then I walk in and, this happens and, you know, life. um, but, it was something that was totally different for me. Because again, I had never felt like that, for anyone, especially not so quickly. Um, and not upon meeting. And it scared me a little bit. It took me aback. But lo and behold, me and him, we, talked for a little while. We dealt with each other for a little while. And in a lot of ways, like dealing with him, it felt like home. It felt like weirdly like home. Like it was right. Like it was supposed to be. And so, I kind of thought to myself, like, well, damn, maybe this is God blessing me for, what I had just went through and, how that turned out. Maybe this is a blessing that, he's trying to bestow upon me. So, I kind of leaned into it a little bit more. But then I started to notice that the more I leaned in, the more he, like, pulled back. And of course, I'm not understanding it. All of my attempts to have a conversation about it went nowhere. It didn't, basically nothing came to fruition, right? So after that, like I spent a long time because I was confused. Like why would like why would God put this person in my life, right? Only to snatch them away, only for this not to be something that can really, go the distance, because like this felt great. Like it felt great, y'all. So, I spent a long time actually just, I want to say, living in confusion, like being confused as to like what happened here, like why did this happen? And the person just never would really work with me to give any clarity or answer any questions. And I tried. Like I tried multiple ways, multiple different, like I'm like, okay, well maybe I'm not, coming off right, or maybe I need to change how I approach the situation. And I tried all of that, right? And through it is kind of where I started my, like, my healing journey. You know what I'm saying? And like I started to recognize that some of the things that I was going through and some of the ways that I was feeling, it didn't even have anything to do with him. Like the feeling of like abandonment and like maybe codependency even. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so weird, you guys. But I started to understand in sitting in that dark ass place that I was in, because it didn't feel good. But I started to realize that, I couldn't keep looking for him to give me an answer. I had to give myself an answer. And I had to kind of resolve it within myself, because what I was trying to get from him wasn't happening, right? So I start my journey. I start working on myself, and I'm doing, I started to work out, and I lost, a lot of weight. And I just started really getting back to like me, like what made me happy, what made me feel good. Figuring out what I want, what I desire. And I got to a really good place through that healing journey. It was a long road, and it's still not over, because I don't think we're ever really done healing, especially when it's something that we put our minds to. When we make the effort, or set the tone in our lives that we're going to continue to strive to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. That's an everyday ongoing process. That's not something that just comes and goes or ends when you think you've made it somewhere, right? So, I'm going on this journey, and I'm doing all these things, and but the relationship is still in the back of my mind. Like it's still, like it was almost like God showed me what it could be. Like I could see like so much, like it was so much potential there. Like I seen so much potential, and I'm looking like I see like what this could be if we can just get on the same page. But for the life of me, we could not get on the same page. Like it just was not happening, right? So, I'm saying to myself, I see the big picture. Like I see the big picture. How do I make him see the big picture? Right? And then I realized that there's a bigger picture than the big picture that he showed me. So he showed me the big picture because there was things that he wanted me to work on within myself in order to be better, in order to figure out how to love myself properly, and how to understand that everything that I was looking for outside of myself, I had already. Like if this journey has taught me nothing more, it has definitely taught me how to love myself, how to be consistent with myself, how to communicate properly with myself. And by that, affirmations that I say to myself, and the thoughts, like my thoughts about myself, because I'm very critical. Like, I'm a Virgo. We strive to be perfect, but we're not perfect. And when we don't reach the level of perfection that we look for in a situation, then we're normally hard on ourselves. At least that's how I am. So, with all of that, like, I learned how to love myself, how to be consistent with myself, how to commit to myself, and how to be honest with myself, how to be vulnerable with myself. And when you think about it, these are all things that, when we get into relationships, these are all things that we look for another person a lot of times to show us, right? So the big, like, it was almost like something clicked. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, the click literally happened not long ago at all. Like, but something clicked. And in that click, it was like, there's a bigger picture here. Like, he showed you the big picture, right? And that was what that relationship could be. And seeing that, it made me want to do better with myself in order to be able to have that, right? And not the person, but the picture, like what I was envisioning. So, I do the work, I do all of that, and then I have this, this realization that clicks, and again, I realized there was a bigger picture. And that's really the lesson in, this part of my journey for myself. So the bigger picture was for me to really know and understand that everything that I need, everything that I could look for in another person, everything that I could ask for another person to give me, I can give myself. I have it within myself. I can do it for myself. And that's not to say I'm like hyper independent and I don't need anyone to help me do anything, but that's just to recognize that I got it. Like, it's me. I am the big picture. You get what I'm saying? Like, I had to do the work to become what I wanted to see, what I want to experience, what I want to have. And so, and that's why I say, like, there's the big picture, right? And then there's the bigger picture. And now that I am able to see the bigger picture, I am able to continue on this journey and know that no matter what happens, no matter what life throws my way, no matter who comes at me, like, I got this. I got this. And can't nobody take it from me. Can't nobody stop me. Again, this channel was to help me heal, was to help me with a lot of the things that I didn't understand, and I needed to put clarity to in my past in order to, like, move forward, in order to keep moving forward. So this is just another part of that journey, seeing the bigger picture, and not resting on the big picture, because the big picture wouldn't have, if I would have just rested on the big picture, I don't think I would have really came to the point where I understood that it was all about me. Like, the bigger picture was to know that it is all about you, what you choose, what you want, what you desire, what you deserve, and what you should not let anyone, and how you should not let anyone tell you anything different or make you feel anything different than that. And if they try, fuck them. Period, point blank. Anybody that tells you you don't deserve something that you feel you deserve, and that you know you should have, fuck them. Do what you do anyways. You know how many people told me, why you gonna do that? Why you gonna start that channel? That's stupid. Why you gonna put your business out there? Why you gonna tell people all of your deepest, darkest secrets? I don't have to tell y'all all of my deepest, darkest secrets. To be honest with you, I don't have many secrets because at the end of the day, I'm accountable for everything I do. Everything I say, every action I take. If I can't say I did it, I'm not doing it. And that is something I live by. So there are not many regrets that I hold in life at all. Yeah, at all. Because everything I did, I wanted to do. It was a choice that I made, and I had to reap the repercussions or whatever came after that choice. I took it on the chin and kept it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't blame anyone else for the choices that you decide to make for yourself. So again, I now am able to see and understand what the bigger picture was. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing to get to this point for me, for myself, because coming from where I was back there, like night and day, literally night and day, because I was in a dark place back there and now I'm in the light. Right now I see the light. Now I live in the light. Can't nobody take my shine. There's not one person that can come into my life anymore and tell me this is what I'm going to give you and I just accept it. That's not going to happen. Because if I don't want it, then I don't want it. So my hope for you guys watching this video is that you understand that there's a big picture that God will a lot of times show you, so that you can see where you need to be in order for you to have access to what the bigger picture is. So, again, this video wasn't going to be long. I'm going to leave it there because that was just really the word. It was short and sweet and simple. And I love that I'm here. And I love that I know that can't anyone, like outside of me and God, can't nobody tell me what's happening. Nobody. So, thank you again for joining me on this fool's journey tonight. And again, I look forward to many, many more with you guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and have a great night.